Good morning, Rabbi Isai. My son, Lozi, became a chassan to Kayla freed from Rechavia. Shari Chester Rechavia area. Aztov. Mishpacha of Mamish and Visonim. And Nova, yeah. Very, very big Balimidas. And I know the girl for a while. And she's a Balasmidas, Bemis. A very edela, quiet, like unassuming. It's unbelievable. So, yeah, we're gonna learn. We're gonna learn a little bit. We have a lot to learn. Yeah.
Who gets
so yeah, it's not. They didn't meet through the app, so they missed out. Unfortunately, they missed out on the 10 grand. They said, a lot of people said because Lozi was so involved in making the Shidduch initiative, the Zoicha. Okay, Be'ezer Hashem, Shekoyach. Here's a bericha. It's Mazel Tov. This is the Mechutin. Reb Noach Fried, the chassan. You have to remember what the chassan looks like in this picture. Punkt in this picture, because there's a video coming on. These are the Israeli chevra. I see Yoshi here with the hat. Ariel's behind him. Levi Friedman, Benny Rodnick. What's this? Down. The Chavrusa showed up. The Rebbe. That was a big surprise, actually. I told him not to come. Rabbi Isai, yesterday we have a big schos. Yesterday, a bacher that came here, he used to learn in the yeshiva right behind us in Prushim, and he was struggling a little bit in learning, and he came here and he got a geschmack in learning. His parents both told me last night. I went to the chasana after the Vart. Here it is, Yehuda. I know, so it's a big thing that his father came on the day after, the morning after Chazal Mati's Tengi. Shkoyach for coming. No?
It wasn't like we're going to let you give shir and I'm not even going to show. Good.
But Yehuda is he's a great guy. He became a big masmid, and so Be'ezer Hashem, the Ziv should be Oilo Yofazan. You should see a lot of nachas. The Kala happens to be the daughter of Mendy Auerbach's partner, Gilly. We went on a safari. He was that other piece, huh? Here, Chasnas give me a bracha. What else? All right, we'll jump into it. There's no l'chaim this morning. This is blessed. Fast. Look at Spiegel. You see Spiegel? I had to do shir early, 3 hours early, so I could get to the bar. right, you missed Nachman, you missed it. I showed a video of a guy walking down to his chuppah with the words.
Mark sent it to me.
With the words. He had a guy sit there with the words. That's how much it meant to him. Mazel Tov sponsors. Oh, this is the Mazel Tov. I didn't see this yet. So the coalition representing the consortium, the conglomerate, the syndicate, and the alliance in wishing a tremendous Mazel Tov to Eli Stefansky and their whole mishpacha. Meir Planka, Arya Blau, and Jamie Azulai. Oh no, I can't. Mazel Tov Paraluzzi, Sukala. Mazel Tov to Rebelli. Toda la familia. Okay, gewaldig. Dov Eisenberger, Mazel Tov to you, your wife, and the entire family on Leslie's engagement. Yishkoyach. Shirley Weinberger, Chloe Meir, Rabbi Shlita, Mazel Tov, wishing the Rebbe much simcha and nachas. It jumps into this, okay? We're still looking for sponsors for the Hebrew Shabbaton. Many people, a bunch of people a guy yesterday, one of the Israeli guys, young guy, he davens here, Shachar Zevi, Prime Kitchens, gave 10,000 shekels, so Yishkoyach Gadol. MDY official edition of B'chayros. All the prokim are taken, and 2/3 of the dafim are already sponsored, so Chap Arayin. Official edition of MDY Shas Mesechta Zevin Yal Shulov. If you want your name said right over here, Zevin Yal Shulov, sponsor Mesechta B'chayros. Perik Ches, Samuel of Pels and Kendi families, dedicated in the memory of Gershom ben Menachem Yosef ben Tzvi Hersh, Yitzchak ben Mendel, Alema Shalom, Daf Kuf Yud Beis, Yedidya Pereira, the Ishmas Harav Rafal, Yosef Shlomo ben Harav Chaim Zechroin Levracha. David Salomon, dedicated in memory of Avimori, Reb Shmuel Baruch ben Reb Chaim Tzvi, Doi Zechroin Levracha, the Palestinian Family Foundation. May our Limud Torah during the Chodesh Elul bring us closer to make Geula v'Simcha. Anonymous, and thank you to Shiv Benny. All these people called in during the Vart. We're not doing one, Chaim Vart, together. So, Yishkoyach for all those people that called in. I got to see them for a couple seconds on a video. Shmak. Anonymous. You're not going to believe who called in. Even my father called in. Anonymous, when clear before Shleima and Arichas Yom to Leah Vasesa. I can't make this up. Chaim and Leah Levy also called in honor of MDY family. Anonymous, for my birthday is a schus v'atzlocha of my family, Baruch Nim Begashmi. Shmili and Fegi Koenig, in honor of Chaim Levy hosting MDY, let's talk about Cholan Yonim. The Tzviz for Shlema to Rivka Naomi Batzli Shabbatya. Arya Simon for Shlema of Imoiri Baruch ben Miriam. The Spanish year sponsors Lili Nishmas, Rabbi Shaya ben Rav Yosef, Tzvi Lebetkin, Zech Nishmas Leo Beryl ben Shmuel Chaim. Anonymous for the week, for Shlema Etel Basmatl. Warren H. Feldman, in merit of MDY's diligent work, thank you so much. Daily sponsors Rachel and Alex Katz and family in honor of Bubby and Zadie's Aliyah from Canada yesterday.
He went from he was born in Germany in a DP camp, it's a stateless Jew, from 1946 to making an Aliyah to the Jewish home.
Wow. Should be Zoichet Harichas Yomim here in Eretz Yisrael. Peter Merker, in memory of my grandmother Ruth Denker, Rachel Bas Moshe on her 42nd yard site. Yuda Sigler, in honor of my 12-year-old son Aiden's 500th consecutive daf. You inspire me every day. You inspire me. Unbelievable. Wow. 12 years old, 500 days. Anonymous, Refuah Shlema. We say it all the time. We say it, and then it becomes like, imagine you at 12 years old learning 500 days straight.
Crazy.
I don't know, where's Yossi K? But I don't know the math. 500 days back is about 2 years. So he started when he was 10. Before Shleima to the 19-year-old Mickey, waiting for a new heart. Mikey. Before Shleima to 19-year-old Mikey, waiting for a new heart. Michal Ben Bracha Rino. Yossi, how you doing? Anonymous, Lichni Shayo, Velvo Ben Yaakov HaKoyen, V'chanoi Chaim Ben Yaakov HaKoyen, Yortzai Ayoim, Zain Elul. Sruli Bernstein, Nishmas Avram Lake, Ben Meir Halevi. Reb Sruli Bernstein also called in yesterday. Shkoyach Reb Sruli. Anonymous, Lili Nishmas Tzvi Abish, Ben Moshe Halevi. Anonymous, Schus Limud Torah Hayoim. Nadav L'Refuas Fradel Bas Sora Fega. Nosson Katz, in honor of Reb. Check it out. And all the RDC staff that learn MDY for Shleima Aaron Ben Chai Sarah. If you have too many, characters. So Rabbi say, let me just say something. This is cool, but the reason why we have few characters is so it moves it along. Now, once there's Rosh Tevis and interesting thing, it takes double the amount of time. You might as well just put those characters in order to check and now and all the RDC staff. Anonymous, there was a bacher here yesterday that's going to Mbaseret and he did Camp Kaylee for all the guys. It was him. He sponsored that. Told me afterwards. It didn't say. It said like anonymous. Yeah, the guy from Woodmere, the guy that was sitting over here from. Shalom Aleichem, what's your name?
Ellis Gamble.
From
London originally, but I live in Waterbury, Connecticut. I was in Chicago for many years. I remember you as a caterer from there.
Really?
Been with you since Yvamas.
Yvamas, wow. Shalom Aleichem. Wow. So now where do you live? I'm confused.
Waterbury, Connecticut.
Waterbury. Heard of the place. Very nice. And you, what's your name?
Hassan, Nathan.
Shalom Aleichem. And you're not doing it since Yvamas. You're trying it. Huh? From today. Listen, it's never too late. By the time you're his age, you'll be finished Shas, 2-3 times leadership. All right. Rachel and Alex Katz, the second sponsor today, in honor of their beautiful children. May they grow in Ahavas HaTorah, Yira Shomayim. And the Shidduch Initiative. Anonymous, Zivik Hogim Bekorv, Mamish L'Shoshana Brocha Bas Shalamis V'chaim David Ben Shalamis. Freddie Friedman, in support of this groundbreaking initiative, with credit to Mati Belsky for changing the landscape for Shidduchim. Maybe by the turning of the daf, I'll give you an update. Crazy stuff going on with the Shidduch initiative. Numbers are, we're waiting for the first Shidduch, but the numbers are crazy. Kinnovations LLC has a schos. Fakiva Simcha Ben Feiga. And Rivka Yudis Bas Yafa Chai and our kids too. MDY Art. L'Refus Shlema Mordechai Ben Esther. L'Refus Ayelet Daniel Zev Ben Ayelet Esther. What? You look very excited about something. Shkoyach for the letter, Be'emet. It was a very touching letter. I didn't know people write letters. I'm learning new things. I didn't know you're supposed to write a letter to somebody when you go to a Vart. But they did. These two guys, and they made me cry a little bit. Okay, Givaldik. Rabbi Sai, we're holding by everybody's favorite sugya. No trauma, be relaxed. Not Bernat. It's actually super simple. Let's do it again. Not the great, we have some of the world's greatest videos today. But this one, piece of meat was in the bowl. The fish, both hot, they showed the smoke coming out of the meat. And whacks his head in the thing. He gets a little.
הבוסו נתן טעם בקערה, הקערה נתנה טעם בי, נברנק שלטת, מותר לאכול אותי מקוטר.
Okay, so what happened again? The piece of meat that was hot was in a bowl. So it imparted flavor, a meat flavor into the bowl. They call that in English fleshig. The bowl became fleshig. Then you take a piece of fish and you put it into the bowl. The fish is also boiling hot. So because it's hot, it could pull the flavor out of the bowl. But because there was a bowl in between the fish and the meat, that's called the flavor, the son of the flavor. It went through too many stages to give it a strong flavor. If the meat touched the fish and they were both hot, then the fish would be real fleshig fish, and then you would not be permitted to eat that fish with milk. But because the fish got its flavor from a bowl, which got its flavor beforehand from a hot piece of meat, so that's called not barnat. We have machlekes Rav and Shmuel. Shmuel says not barnat is not a problem. The flavor is too weak, and we actually paskin like this. This is how we paskin. And Rav says it's awesome. I just did today, I just added it because we're going to be talking about this fish. He's eating this fish, but the fish is impure by the meat that touched the bowl, that touched the fish, and then you want to eat the milk. It's a little bit confusing, this little thing, but it has all the elements here. The meat in the bowl, but it's not, it's out of the bowl already. The meat touched the bowl, which touched the fish, and now you want to drink milk together with the fish. So we're just going to use it later maybe for a second. Nitmar. I mean, we could go back to that. We could just say the words, Dogim sha'alu bakahara. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about this fish that was in a bowl, that the bowl is a meat bowl. Rav says you're not allowed to eat the meat, the fish, together with a dairy product called kutach. Now, this video, just watch Mendy Auerbach while he watches this video. Did you see this video, the kutach video? Because Mendy, you saw it? You did? Ugh. Don't watch him then. Those who know my Rebbe, my Chavrusa, Rabbi Didier Kramer, if you know his attributes, one of the things he's a saver. We'll call him a saver. And this video, it goes like almost in the wrong direction. You think, Oived, they're making fun of him. But then it takes a nice turn and explains what kutach is. It could be a deadly product. Let's just say this here. What is kutach? In those days, they used to take, it was like spoiled milk, right, with spoiled bread. And they made this crazy, unbelievable, tasty thing. This is one of the best videos ever produced. There's a super realistic element to it. Also, okay, whatever, I'm not going to go into too many details. A lot of the nuances, the way Mechavrus is learning, doesn't pick up his eyes, this, the whole thing. This is Rabbi Yakim. Those eyes. Mamish, this is Gary at the fridge. He did that thousands of times. Those who know, know. The kitchen is a little bit of an exaggeration, that I can say. I'm going to Iraq. They're making fun of me. Kilo I learned in the airport. Here's Benny Rothman. Nice, nice. Look at this guy over here. I mean, the nuances, the things, unbelievable. Look at Benny. He has fear in his eyes. What happened to the kutach? All right, top 10. All right, so that's kutach. Rabbi saying today, don't try the kutach. It could be. They sell it actually. They sell kutach. Yeah, it's like a sour cream kind of, whatever. Yeah, I got a shot. You gave me shalachmanis a kutach. Don't worry, I can tell you right now, I didn't eat it.
That means it's still good.
Yeah, Rav Omar, it's better now. Rav Omar also lachlim bekutach. You're not allowed to eat the fish together with kutach because kutach, as you saw, has milk in it. It also has salt. It has some bread. Shmuel Amar mutar lachlim bekutach. Shmuel holds not bar not is mutar. The Gemara explains. Rav Amar asur noisin tamu. It received flavor from the meat. So in the fish, there's a little meat. How could you eat meat together with dairy? Milchiks and fleishiks asur. Shmuel Amar mutar noisin tam bar noisin tamu. Not bar not. That's why they call it not bar not. Just cool. All the Mefarshim, they call it, instead of writing nois and tam, bar nois and tam, they make it so confusing, not bar not. Almost like checking out. You know, sometimes the Rosh Tevis is harder than the actual word. Nois and tam, bar nois and tamu. Sit, the bowl received the flavor from the meat, and there's no meat anymore in the bowl, and the fish received the flavor from the bowl, so it's one time removed from the meat, it's called nat bar nat, and it's mutter to dip your fish in milk. Says the Gemara, Rav la beferish itmar. In fact, Rav never said it mefurish, ela b'klal itmar. We know this from a story. Akad at the time. The Rav, Iklu lebei Rav Shimi bar Chia bar Berei. Rav goes to his grandson's house. Chash Beinov, Rav had an eye ache. Of the leishiyofa bitzah, so they put together a cream, an eye cream, and they put it in Rav's eye. Basar hachi, what does a good family do? After you make a nice, disgusting cream, you feed the zayda with the same bowl. Basar hachi ramule bishula begavah. They say, oh, maybe the Shiva, the Rav, the Galador, maybe wants to eat a little bit gefilte fish. So they put it inside the bowl. Time at the shayfa. He's like, what is this? It tastes like eye cream. So what do you see from here? The whole idea of nat bar nat is that the flavor is so weak. If it had a strong flavor, if it had a meaty flavor, there wouldn't be a question here. The point is that it went into the bowl, it went into the fish, you can barely detect the flavor, and that's the question. Rav is saying, I taste the eye cream. In other words, he's saying that nat bar nat is a problem. But he never said so mefurish. Says you can't bring any rye from there. Shani Hasan the Nafesh Maror. I don't know what the ingredients of this eye paste is. Apparently it's extremely strong, and that's why he tasted it. But a regular piece of steak is not that strong, so you don't have an issue of nat bar nat. Says Taisvus, wait a minute. Of course we can't bring a rye from the story, but we know what Rav holds. Rav holds nat bar nat is also. Nothing to do with the story. Maybe you won't be able to prove from the story, but that's Shitas Rav, which we don't pass like. Says the Gemara, a fascinating story which needs a lot of explanation. Rebbe Elazar have a claim kamedim ar Shmuel. Rebbe Elazar was there in front of Shmuel. They brought him exactly this dish that we're talking about, this fish that touched the bowl, that once touched a piece of meat. And Shmuel started eating it, dipping the fish into the sour cream kutach thing that's on the floor in the airport. And they gave a little bit to Rebbe Elazar and he refused to eat it. In other words, he says, I don't eat nat bar nat. I don't eat a piece of fish that touched the bowl, that touched a piece of meat earlier on. Both, of course, hot. Omalei, Shmuel got upset. L'rabach, your Rebbe, who's your Rebbe? Rav. L'rabach yahavele v'achal. I fed your Rebbe called Rav a piece of fish and he dipped it into kutach. You think you're better than your Rebbe? That's never a good thing, to act more chashav than your own Rebbe. What kind of business is this, that you're makbid or nat bar nat when your own Rebbe didn't? Also, look at me, the Rav. So Rebbe Elazar runs back to his Rebbe. Omar lei hodabei mar mishmaite. I don't understand, Rebbe. I heard this from your own mouth. You said in Shir that nat bar nat is osir, that this fish would be osir to eat with milk. Why in the world did Shmuel tell me that he fed it to you and you ate it? Omar lei chasle lezari chas v'sholem, to the children, the Abba bar Abba, which is Shmuel's father, the lisvili midi v'loi spirili. No way in the world would he give me something that I don't hold of. In other words, loi hoyu dvar moilam. The story never happened. He never fed me fish and I never dipped it in kutach. Made up story. I hold, nat bar nat is also. Ask all the Rishonim, what is going on over here? How is it possible that Shmuel lied? Comes out a lie. He tells Rebbe Elazar, I fed your Rebbe, and his Rebbe says, I don't know what you're talking about. I never ate this. There's a number of tirutzim. I don't know that anyone will be extremely satisfying to the Olam, but one teretz is that he meant a different Rav. Another teretz is the Ritva says that he was exaggerating. In other words, he's saying, even if I fed it to your Rebbe, you would eat it. What's your problem? Why are you being... Not that I physically fed it. The Rajdam, who lived 500 years ago, in the time of the Beis Yosef, he says that, no, he actually fed it to him. Because he thought Shmuel was under the impression that Rav knew what's going on here, that he understood that this is, what did the Gemara call it? The fish that's in a pot. What is it called? How do you know it's Daf Kuf Yud Aleph? in Zichru, Dagim Shal Bakara. He knew it's Dagim Shal Bakara, and Rav ate it. So then he barvarns the question, but how is it possible that a Tana, Rav is a Tana Upalig? A Tana will be Nichshal and not Barnat. So he says, no, it's not Nichshal, because the Allah is like Shmuel, that you're allowed to eat not Barnat. So he, by mistake, ate not Barnat, and Shmuel was under the impression that he knew about it. He says, I fed it to your Rebbe, and your Rebbe ate it. Okay. Each different tirutzim, pick and choose. Says Gemara, Rav Huna, Rav Chia, Barashi, Avi Yasvel. Another story. Both Rav Huna and Rav Chia were sitting. Chad b'haigis the Ma'abara, the surah, v'chad b'haigis the Ma'abara. They're both sitting on opposite sides of the river by the bridge. Lamar aisu dagim shalu b'kara, v'achal b'kutach. One, they gave this fish that we're talking about. I guess it was a common thing to have hot fish that was in a bowl. They didn't have a lot of bowls. Look, it's not like they had a disposable. They make a paste, and then they use the same bowl to give to their zaidi. Why? They don't have another bowl. How many bowls do they have? 2 bowls. Each bowl is $100, whatever. So they gave fish that touched a bowl that touched meat, and he ate it with kutach. Now here's the question. This mamish halacha l'maisa. We can learn a lot of stuff from this. If you eat sushi in the middle of your Shabbos meal after you wash tamaitzi, do you have to make a bracha on it? Sushi, no. What if they bring you a bowl of ice cream right after tamaitzi? Do you have to make a shahakal on it? Yes. Okay. Good. What are we pasking? Mati? Do you have to make a bracha? On ice cream. What about on a fruit? Yes. Okay. So, what about, do you have to make a bracha achroina? Do you have to make a boirei nefashos after you eat the ice cream that you made a shahakal in the middle of the meal? No, you sure? Yes. Okay, so let me show you Rashi here for a second. You don't have to look inside, you can look over here on the screen. It says Rashi Teinim, in the middle line, too many lines here by mistake. Teinim v'anovim, I'm just jumping ahead. If they bring you dates and grapes in the middle of the meal, also lifton, it's not something that you shmear on your bread, so it's not part of the meal. But something that you typically would eat after the meal, like dessert, like grapes. That's normal for people to bring it after Suda. It happens to be, I was once in a restaurant and the guy said, "You're not normal." I sat down, I remember exactly where it was. What's the name of that fleshik restaurant next to the King David Hotel? Not Rodriguez. What? Red Heifer, very good. Sitting Red Heifer. And I said, "Could I order dessert now?" And he goes, "Yeah, but you're not normal. It's never happened. I've been here for 6 years. Nobody's ever ordered dessert before." I said, "Yeah, I'm shtickle off. I like dessert first, sometimes." So it says, this is something that comes after the Suda. To an bracha, says Rashi, bein lefneihem ubein lachreim. You have to make your own mein shalosh, your own burn of fashas, Rashi holds. In the middle of the Suda, if you eat this, we don't pass like Rashi. Only on the first part. But it's important to remember that if you eat pitzuchim, you eat cake, you eat whatever it is, that is nothing that's normal not to have in the middle of the Suda, like it might what?
Cake depends what
cake, we do cake also. Okay, that nothing means it's machlokes.
Then yes.
It might, also another not normal thing, but we have a minhag.
Pitzuchim, I don't know if that's true.
Why? Pitzuchim is not something?
Make a bracha, I don't think so.
Why not? Explain to me why not. What?
Sunflower seeds? I don't think so. I said possible his, yeah. Right. If it was a pie, then you would make a right. Yeah.
It happens to be in our family, in the middle of the meal, like when my wife does her thing with the meat and everything, we eat candy, a lot of candy. We bring the candy out. First of all, that's the main course for my kids, but also it's like a shmak thing. So that would be an issue. Okay, who is this? What is this? Yeah. Let's see. I didn't see this.
פתאום ראיתי שיש את שוטנשטיין, או יש את עוז והדר, שם אפליקציה שאני מדבר עליה, שקוראים לה יומי, שזה בכלל, זה עם בדיחות ותמונות, ויש את השיעור הזה של הרב סטפנסקי, שזה מסיבה. אני לא עוקב אחרי השיעור, אני תמיד בפומו. זה מתחרה בפטריוטים. כן, פשוט מסיבה, ואיזה כל דברים. זה דבר מדהים. אגב, אני ראיתי את זה, זה היה פעם באנגלית, ויצרתי קשר איתו עם הרב, ולא הכרתי אותו, אמרתי, זה חייב להיות בעברית. ואז אנשים אומרים לי, אתה לא מבין, זה תרבות אמריקאית, זה כמו לקחת, זה אי אפשר לתרגם את זה. ואמרתי, למה אי אפשר? יש פה מסיבה שאתה מרגיש, זה דבר כל כך מרגש אותי לראות את האנשים שבאים, וזה חבר'ה שהוא מרפא את כל הטראומות, אני לא יודע, עם הומור, עם המסיבה הזאת.
Shkoyach, but it's in Hebrew now. Mother's going to complain that there's no. Oh, okay. Cool. All right. So says the Gemara. Now that we know all this, now that we have this big Hakdama, so one of them was on the other side of the bridge. Lemar isolate te'enim va'anovim b'soich hasuda va'ocha v'loi barich. They brought him the dates and the grapes in the middle of the suda, and he ate. And he didn't make a bracha. My niece is engaged to somebody that's not religious yet. Comes from a not religious background, and we were just in Chicago, and we're eating the suda. All of a sudden, in the middle of the suda, he pulls out a banana. So I jumped out of my seat. I made a whole scene because I'm good friends with him. I like, Josh, what are you doing? He's like, what? Banana, in the middle of the suda. He puts it back in. No, I was just messing around. He even says it's not. It's a banana. It's chunk, and it's whatever. It was all good. It was in good spirit. He knows how to take a good thing. My niece, but some people they pull out a banana in the middle of the suda and they eat. What bracha did they make? He didn't make a bracha at all. Didn't make a bracha. So says the Gemara. Yasma, you're mamish an orphan. You don't have any seichel, says Rashi. What's wrong with you? You gonna eat fish that touch the meat plate? Oh, Rabbi Chachi, do you have like a Messiah? I love that. You have a Messiah? What's your Messiah? And the other one says to this guy, Yasma, you're the orphan. Oh, Rabbi Chachi, he eats bananas in the middle of a meal, he doesn't make a bracha. So the other one answers, I know Kishmus really. What do you mean? I hold like the halacha that not barnat is okay. Not enough flavor to make it meat. I know Kirbchia severely. I hold like Kirbchia, the Torah Kirbchia, Paspiteres Kol Mini Machol. Bread makes all food in the meal. You don't have to make a bracha, even fruit. V'yayin poiter Kol Mini Mashkin. And wine makes all other liquids mutter to drink without a bracha. That's the halacha. That wine patters mashkin, but bread is not the halacha. I don't know, the dalet, I have to figure out why it says dalet. The bread does not patter all the desserts and everything. Oh, Marchizki, I don't know if people are so familiar with the wine thing. We make boire priagafen, now you don't have to make a bracha shalom aleichem. You don't have to make a bracha on apple juice and all this other stuff. The boire priagafen gives you a p'tur on other drinks, just like hamoitzi gives you a p'tur on other foods. Bottom line, not barnat, this fish that touched the bowl, that touched the meat.
The dollars, because even if you have, let's say you have a dip that has dates in it, and you would take out the date and eat it in the middle of the suda, you wouldn't make a bracha on that. Anything that comes with the bread, that's part of the suda.
Yeah, but now you're jumping to something else. Come on. A dip that has a date. No, we're talking about a date.
Paspoteris, everything, unless you're having it as a dessert. Unless you're having it separate from the meal. Paspoteris, kol minei machal in the suda.
If you have a fruit in the middle of the meal, a date, not coming out of your dip, it's a date. So you have to make a bracha on the date.
This line, that's why you have the
What?
That's why you have the dollar. Just answering why you have the dollar.
No.
Let's see it.
The fish that touched the bowl, that touched the meat, that's the halacha. You're allowed to eat it with milchiks. New halacha. This is a big chiddush. Until now, we're talking about hot meat that touched the bowl, and then the hot fish touched the bowl. Over here, we're talking about how do you say it's not in English? Radish. A radish that's sharp, but it's cold. So you have two things going for it. It's sharp, but also the knife, the power, the force of the knife also has the fleishiks or whatever it is go into it. You have a knife that cut meat earlier, and now you're cutting a cold radish. So the sharpness of a knife, pushing down in the knife, plus the sharpness of the radish. Also, you're not allowed to eat it together with the milk. This is only a radish, the agav churpe bala, because it's very sharp, so that's why it's able to absorb more than a usual food, and that's why the meat will go into the radish. But if you eat, here's kishos. First of all, radish. What's radish? This is radish. Beautiful pictures. Just the letters, everything. Mamish, unbelievable. So if you eat kishos, like a squash. Squash is on the sweet side. You know that squash soup that they make? It's on the sweet, butternut squash. It's sweet. So what do you do? All you need to do is cut away from where you cut, and you're good. Kilcha de lifta, the leaves of a turnip. We're not talking about the turnip itself, because I guess that's sharp. But the leaves, kilcha de lifta shari. Okay, I don't know what it is. Then that you're allowed to eat without doing anything. You might have to wash it off, but you don't have to cut anything off of it. The silka, but the leaves of beets, asiri, because they are sharp. And once again, so you see the beets on the right side, the beet itself is sweet, but the leaves of the beet are sharp and they're similar to that of a radish. So that's problematic. The leaves of the middle one, they look similar, they're green, but they're sweeter, so that's not a problem. V'pasach behu the lifta, if he started doing the turnip first, which is the sweet one, and in other words, he alternates between the turnip and the beet. So, well, we're talking about kutach over here. Can you eat kutach afterwards? The knife has meat in it. We have a meaty knife, and you're cutting these leaves, and then you want to eat the leaves with kutach. It's the same thing, not barnat kind of situation. Instead of a bowl, you have the knife, and you had the knife which had meat on it. So if you alternate between the sweet and the sharp, the sweet takes away the sharpness. Shaper dami, that's okay. Sometimes, in the kitchen, you have like an open a jar, exactly, an open jar of salt. And now you put your kutach next to it. And when you grab some of it, what happens? It drips, it falls, pieces fall. So, some of your kutach will fall into the salt, into the jar. And then what? Tomorrow you're gonna make a steak. You take a whole spoonful of of salt, put it on your steak. Now in that salt, you have a nice geschmack piece of kutach that just fell. So you gotta be careful in the kitchen where you put your stuff. You're not gonna put it next to it, because that's obviously a problem. What if you put the kutach next to the chalamai, an open jar of vinegar? That's okay. So what's the difference? What if a piece of kutach falls into your vinegar? Why is that okay? So he says the famous line that Rav Nachman says a few times in Shas. The Olam didn't like it then. They're not going to like it today, but I have no choice. I got to show it. This part is very real. Remendi didn't like it so much last time. A quart of salt is a lot of salt. Okay. That was his voice, I think, A lot of it is, okay. If you give me a lot of salt, if you pay me, I'll tell you. So, my son Aaron was trying to teach me this Yisoid, and I heard it later from a bunch of people. In therapy, if somebody gives you, let's say, somebody's a therapist, and he gives you a free session, it doesn't have the effect. Part of the thing is that you pay good money, you pay a couple $100 an hour, then you go home and you work on it. Guy gives you a free, here, sit down on my couch, so you should do this, garnished. To the point where somebody in the mishpacha wanted to do coaching with Aaron. He says, you gotta pay. I don't know that you're gonna pay the whole price, but you have to pay. I can't give you free. If you do free, it's a joke. You're not gonna take it seriously.
You need to be invested.
You need to be invested, exactly. That's why one of the Israelis after shir and during shir yesterday said the oilam has to start paying for the shir. If they're not invested. The oilam here didn't laugh at all. The Israelis laughed over here. They're serious. Wow, to start paying? I don't like that. Wow. Daily, you want to come here the shir, you have to pay.
Like the
Otherwise,
like killer.
Yeah.
Climb on the roof.
Yeah. Then you make it a thing.
Yeah, like a Gamaliel.
Yeah.
That's it.
Very good. So he says, listen, if you pay me for the pshat, I'll give you pshat. What do you think? I give free pshatim over here. You want to really enjoy the pshat? You're gonna have to pay. My time. What's the pshat? What's the difference between the kutach, a piece of milk falling into salt, or a piece of kutach that falls into vinegar? Very simple. Hai isi surbeina. When the kutach falls into salt actually preserves things. It's going to stay as is. You're going to have a nice chunk of kutach that goes into your meat, which is a problem. But hai leisi surbeina. But when a piece of kutach falls into vinegar, it's going to dissolve. It's not a problem. Says the Gemara, there was a little chicken, a little bird, a little, what are they called? Pigeon. Yeah, but not a chick. A little chick fell into the kutach. Gross. They're
both cold.
Yeah. Now, what's the problem? The problem is that maybe there's a lot of salt, and you saw Rabbi Yedidia salt. He took one of the ingredients is salt in the kutach, and the salt in the kutach is going to cook the meat to the point where the kutach is going to penetrate into the chicken, into the bird, into the pigeon. How? Through the salt. Because we saw yesterday that meluach hareyu ke ritzeach. That in other words, you don't need a hot item. The salt creates heat. Halachically. Who's so smart that can say that this is okay, it's not a problem? Why? Because when Shmuel said that salting something is like boiling it, it means it's so strong, it's so salty that you can't even eat it. This is a normal amount of salt. That type of salt that you put in a cake, that you put in kutach, or you put in whatever in your challah, is not the type of salt that we're talking about that boils up a food. And the whole thing is when this bird is raw. That's one shot. But if it was already roasted, then it penetrates and you need to remove the outer layer. And if it has like cracks in it, then through the cracks, the kutach will penetrate and ruin the entire bird. And if you spice it, like we saw yesterday, it softens up the meat. It's also. This is gross, should be gross. This is a very super interesting shayla. I'm sure many of you had this problem. You take a hamburger and you put it on a bun, and the nice red juice goes into your bun. Are you eating blood? No. Why? What? Mayakopin. Very good. In Hebrew it's called moil. Mayakopin equals moil. That's the sugi right now. I don't know if you're right. Let's see. Kigar. Shechatach aleh basar. It's matters like that. You take a piece of steak, you put it on your bun, on your, what is it called? What's the baguette? And you decide to cut it. And as you're cutting it, juices flow out of the steak into your baguette, and it's red in color, and it looks like blood. What do? Asala achla, Hillel. Ma'ikopahi, ma'ikopaher, asala achla, it's blood. Oh, machlekes. Says the Gemara, no, the problem is when the animal had like a black and blue, like you got a whack and they have blood clot somewhere, that's a problem. It's only when it went to the other side of the baguette. It's really thick. It's just, what is it called? He's looking it up. Les Lambo, it's not a problem. There was I got to tell you real quickly. Yeah, it's not blood. There's a guy that was very instrumental in the shir. He donated a few things, even in this room. What? Myoglobin.
Myoculpus.
So anyways, I'm repeating just the Maisa I said many times. My son, Akiva, was in Reb Simcha Sussman's yeshiva. Today he has a famous yeshiva called Sussman's. So Reb Simcha called us, my wife and I, he says, listen, I got to talk to you. Kiwi, the solution to Kiwi's issues is a dog. Dog. So what are you talking about? I'm not getting a dog. You're getting a dog. I said, I can't. I'm like a cheer. Can't get a dog. You're getting a dog. Whether you like it or not. Hashem Shemayim, I got a dog. He still has a dog. And I'm giving shir one day, and here's a few times where the dog jumped on my lap. This is my house, yeah? During COVID, during different things. And this individual, Hasidic guy, was super, super upset. He wrote me emails. He came to speak to me. He says, I'm God will kill Rabbi Beisai. It's a nerva. It's one of the worst things you can do. It's even worse than not having a beard. Oh, hold on.
Dog has a beard.
And eventually he had to leave this year. He just couldn't. He couldn't. He just left. So therefore, this is one of my favorite Gemaras. It's like, wow. Says the Gemara. Shmuel Shadi Leile Kalbei. He would take this bun that had red thing and give it to his own dog.
Kalbei.
Oh, Kalbei. Not Kelev, the Kalbei. Had a dog. So did David HaMelech have a bunch of dogs. That was when he's nifter. Shlomo went to ask what he should do with the dogs. Those are maybe guard dogs. Oh, he gave it to the dog.
There's a Girsa change.
I know it's a Girsa change. Guess who gave the Girsa change? The guy that left the share. The guy is Kelev, yeah, the Kelev. But I don't even see the change here. My Gemara just says Kalbei. Okay, fine. So it says, Mark, oh my God, don't leave my share just because your gear is differently than the bottom somewhere. I have this gear right over here. He's not Gers. Ravuna Yar Leila Shamei. And Ravuna, this is super interesting. So I'm not going to eat it. I'm going to give it to my Shamish. Ask the Gemara jumps out of it. So, wow. Marav Shach, Ishari, if this thing is mutter, Likulam Ishari, it's mutter to the Rebbe. Yasir, Likulam Asir. Shani Ravuna, Danina Daite, Ravuna was an istinus, so he couldn't eat it. Which reminds me of this 10 stories, I'll only tell you 5. Ramosha finds he's at a bris. He picks up a carton of milk, he looks at it, he puts it down. Yeah. Picks up the second one, drinks. So they started saying, oh, he doesn't eat golden flow, he only eats this. He says, no, I picked up golden flow and there's nothing in it. So I picked up the other one. Don't bring Haraya. Or the Rebbe, all his Hasidim, they cut their nails and only after they go to the mikveh. They go to the mikveh. So they finally asked the Rebbe, what's pshat? Says, I want to soften up my nails. I do it. There's no shaykhs. Or the woman who cut her roast every day. She would cut her roast on both sides and put it in the pan. They went to ask the mother, what's your meaning? Where does it come? It's a Kabbalah. She said, no, my pan just doesn't fit the long roast. V'chulu. You're looking at him and saying, oh, he gives it only to Shabbos. He doesn't. No, he just doesn't like that red stuff on the bun. He's human. And some humans don't like this and some do. Don't bring halachas from it and whatever. Says the Gemara, Rav Achalei, V'karlei Chamar Basar. He would call it the wine of meat. In other words, even though it's very red, like wine, it's no problem. It's called what, Hillel? Myoglobin. It's called moyal. It's called water. It's nothing to do with blood. Blood is gone. Do not put a vessel underneath the meat to catch. Again, I don't even want to go there, but we showed the video, right? Of this, these people used to drink that. Okay, we're not going to show it again. We won't show it again. They'll drink the fat. Do not try to catch the fat because there's some blood coming off the meat into the bowl, and you're gonna by mistake eat the fat. So it says Gemara, how do you know? How do you know that it's done? Says Gemara, when it stops smoking, smoke is the signal. Maybe it's smoking because the bottom is burning out, but the top is not even done at all. You know how when you make a steak, sometimes and there's a bunch of blood over there. So let me show you this murdik. Here we go. Check this out.
You, come here.
That's my son loves it.
Right here. Right
He
now
didn't
it's
like
still
it. He
red.
said it doesn't look like him.
Whatever drips off is blood. You catch it now, it is asor. Wait for the smoke. Smoke means the red is finished. Then you put the bowl.
But I am actually the...
No buts, it is kashida. Do not move.
He's trying to say he's the chassid. He's going to his...
Wait, does anyone argue on this?
Honestly, no idea.
Where's Yaakov
They
Sitro?
moved up Rav Eli Shirul. That's in 20 minutes. Then I'll know.
Come on, photos. Time for pictures.
Yaakov
Where's
Sitro.
the groom? Never mind, we'll add him in AI.
Just showing how the AI thing always never perfect. Oh, Yishkoyach, Yishkoyach. Beautiful. Okay. Zog the Gemara. El Omer Ravashi, let's take the kanto. There's no way to figure this out. El Mishto Beitartig Glole Milcha. You give it a little two like things of salt. Umeshaipe. And then you take off you pour it slowly and easily from the top so that the fat falls into another vessel. Like that, you catch the fat, the blood remains on the bottom. Says Rashi, you do yara shumna elyon benachas mikli kli k'deshisar v'adam boy that the blood should mix. Verisi ba'alochas g'dois the dafkinok atrei gloli. It's a certain amount of salt, a very small amount of salt. Kloimar mat melach. A melach harbe, he says, if you do too much salt, it's not good to put too much salt because then the blood is going to get mixed into the fat because it will liquefy, it'll make it thinner. It'll thin out the blood to the point where it'll mix into the meat and it'll become a problem.
That's why we use coarse salt.
Yeah, okay. Turning to the daf. Encore Healthcare as a schus for Klai Yisrael, this Elul, Shmuel and Ahova Schuster as a schus for Yemadin, Adar Global Specialist in International Financial Services, Tzvi Lebetkin, Zech Nishmas Elio Beryl Ben Shmuel Chaim. Oh, what about the Shidduch Initiative? Thank you, I thought it's going to be in there. Rabbi said, listen to this. We started 4 weeks ago. We have over 3,000 resumes. I remember in the beginning when I was in Yellowstone, I announced that we have 300 resumes. I was so excited. 300. We have 3,000. Right now, 27 couples are going out, and some of them on the 5th date already. So we're hoping to hear B'suras Tovas soon. Over 70 couples about to date. 70 about to date. Listen to these numbers. It's phenomenal. It's unbelievable. So, but we need Doilam's help. We still need to push more resumes. We need to get more resumes in there. Tell them about it. 70 couples in the process of going out. Almost 30 physically going out. Unbelievable. All running towards those $10,000 and the $5,000. Says the Gemara like this. We caused, I have to say this, I feel that before we even did our first shidduch, we caused one couple to get divorced so they could jump on there and get the $10,000. That's what I feel. I'm kidding, I'm joking. Take it easy. Guys, no humor. You're looking at me like a hum b'nei adam. Like this, I could see in the corner of my eye.
Thinking that.
No, he's
about
like
yourself.
He's like, why didn't I think of that idea?
Listen, you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Maxi Brushasoi and $10,000. It's an unbelievable idea. How come nobody thought about it? He loves it. Look at him. He's like, yeah! Look at him. Wow, yeah, I'm going home. I got an answer. Go home before Shachris. You might miss the $10,000. Shami Kabminacher. You got to run. Hold on. We got
It says it's not included.
It's not included? Why not?
Fine print says Maxi Brushas is not included in the $10,000.
Let's see if AI is smart enough to put you and your wife together back.
This thing just reminds me of Shlomo Melech, that's all.
There's no chance. No chance. AI. Not a match. Come on. We have 6 kids together. Not a match. Achi. Umi Omer Shmuel Achi. Did Shmuel really say what? Ay, vavoy. Umi Omer Shmuel Achi. V'Omer Shmuel, Kika shechatach aleh basar asur la'achla. You're not allowed to try to catch the fat and everything. We have a halacha that if you take a piece of bread and you cut meat on it, you're not allowed to eat it. It's different when you cut a piece of meat. We have to understand what's going on in this. I can't say I understand it 100%, but there seems to be, in addition to all the blood that just comes out naturally, we're not worried about it, deep inside there's some blood, and that when you put the pressure of the knife, that pushes the blood out, and that's the problem with your bread. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.